Governor Tim Walz, Congressman Dean Phillips, and other dignitaries were in Brooklyn Park Monday to announce the largest solar project completed so far by a city in Minnesota. Eric Nelson joins us now with more. Eric?
Yeah, thanks, Delane. Brooklyn Park drew attention Monday for its clean energy efforts. The city's solar project will generate enough power for 100% of its energy needs in buildings across the city.
So it not only makes sense environmentally, it also makes sense fiscally, and that's the kind of project we can get behind.
Political movers and shakers found common ground in Brooklyn Park on Monday.
And I'm so proud of this community.
They came together for a solar salute. Brooklyn Park's solar project is the largest and most ambitious endeavor by a Minnesota city to date.
It will generate about 1.8 megawatts. Which is the equivalent to about 200 houses.
Officials say the good news about the $2.6 million project is that it won't cost taxpayers a penny.
We spent nothing.
This was all about the public and private sector teaming up. Brooklyn Park received a Minnesota solar grant, federal tax credits, and money from private investors for funding.
We reduce carbon emissions. This is a win-win-win, and this has nothing to do with ideology. It has everything to do with economics and solid science.
Brooklyn Park's solar blueprint could be a template for other cities in Minnesota and around the nation to copy.
It takes someone to take the lead and be the innovator. That's why I salute Mayor Lundy and the entire city of Brooklyn Park for doing so, because that's going to inspire other cities, both smaller ones and also larger ones.
Despite these polarized times, elected officials say there should be no political boundaries when it comes to solar power.
If you look around the country, some of the most progressive states relative to renewable energy are deep red states. So this notion that it's political is actually part of the problem. We have to depoliticize it.
You don't have to choose anymore between carbon reductions and cost savings. You can have both.
Now, Brooklyn Park officials say solar energy will save taxpayers $60,000 in electricity in 2020 alone. Delane?
A home in Maple Grove is no longer livable after a large fire over the weekend. Fire crews were called out Saturday evening to the home on the 7800 block of Olive Lane North. A passerby had seen smoke. Neither the homeowner nor neighbors were home at the time. The fire was extensive and had spread to the attic. Agencies from multiple cities responded. The cause remains under investigation. The intersection of 93rd Avenue and Noble Parkway in Brooklyn Park is under scrutiny. Reporter Meredith Hackler shows us why the area is in need of safety changes.
Turning onto Noble Parkway from 93rd Avenue can be a challenge, especially during rush hour. Now, the city of Brooklyn Park is taking steps to make it safer for motorists.
It's an area that we have seen some increased accidents, and so as a result of trying to improve safety, we're working with Hennepin County to first design the traffic signal installation this year, and then the actual installation will be done next year.
Reducing the speed around the intersection has also been a big topic of discussion, especially since a new state law could potentially allow cities to decide speed limits in problem areas.
The legislature just changed the law this session where local municipalities can set some speed limits now. The exact guidelines and best practices for that haven't been worked out yet. It's something that we've reached out to the League of Minnesota Cities to talk about, and they're going to put together some best practices.
It's unclear at this point if the speed limit will be changed, but the traffic light is something both the city and the county thinks will make the area safer.
The traffic signal will help for safe access going northbound and southbound.
Several people travel down Noble Parkway as an alternative to 610, which has bumper-to-bumper traffic during rush hour. Now, if all goes according to plan, a light will be installed in this area around this time next year. In Brooklyn Park, Meredith Hackler, CCX News.
In Plymouth, there's a new place for thrill seekers. Today in Business Matters, Corey Bork takes us to a new adventure park that allows you to defy gravity and take a leap of faith.
There's nothing in this area that can quite bring the attractions that we bring.
Whether it's leaping, climbing, or even flying, there's a new place that has kids' attention.
My favorite activity is probably the big bouncy thing over there. Sometimes I like diving in the balls and like swinging off the stuff.
We caught up with brothers Will and Jonathan Ordenstein checking out Urban Air Adventure Park in Plymouth. Here you can reach new heights, act like a ninja warrior, or try another of the park's favorites.
I think it might be the Skyrider.
Think of Skyrider as a zipline roller coaster.
It's just really fun being really high in the air, and It's just a good thrill.
In this technology-driven world, we really wanted families to become active again rather than sitting in front of a TV.
The idea to bring this 68,000 square foot adventure park to Plymouth came from owners Lindsay and Wes Harold.
We only have 20% trampolines here. The rest of the park is something completely different. Whether it be climbing walls, a zip line we call Skyrider, a ropes course, which is kind of an agility course, and then the go-karts.
And the go-karts offer something different too, a first-in-the-nation game called Power Up. Think of it as a real-life Mario Kart video game.
You actually will drive over sensors in the track that will give you a boost of power. It'll slow you down in turtle mode. We have potholes. We have coins that you can collect to get a boost. And so it's very interactive.
There is something for everybody here, even for the parents. We have massage chairs.
But adults don't have to sit around. They're encouraged to let out energy too.
We actually encourage families to interact together. It is for kids. We do a lot of birthday parties, things like that, but more often than not, we do have parent passes, and the parent can join that kid and do exact same attractions as a kid for a discounted rate.
And that means a lot of energy the whole family can expend. But just how much energy?
A lot. Most of mine, like 100% of mine.
For Business Matters, Corey Bohr, CCX News.
Urban Air Adventure Park is located off Rockford Road and Highway 55. It offers 4 different price packages for kids and adults. It also offers memberships, which get you in for half the price of a walk-in ticket.
It's a tradition for a few of our local American Legion baseball teams each July to take part in the Delano Woodbat Stars and Stripes tournament over the 4th of July. Hopkins met Osseo in a pool play game at Municipal Park. Top of the first, this is one of the hardest hit balls all game. Jake Contreras of Osseo takes one to deep center, but Hopkins' Jackson View runs it down for the putout. Pitching is the name of the game in this one. Osseo starter Connor Nygaard gets a strikeout to end the Flyers' second inning. Meanwhile, Hopkins starting pitcher Nick Canitz pitches 5 scoreless innings, allowing just 1 hit and getting this strikeout to end the Osseo 5th. This game goes to extra innings, and a lot of them. Bottom of the 11th, Hopkins' Jason Schumacher singles to right field. Tim Sanford rounds third and is coming to the plate, but Walker Hultgren's throw to Ethan Lorenzen is in time for the out, and the game continues. Top of the 14th, the bases loaded for Osseo. Contreras draws a walk, and Tim Lavin trots home with the first run of the ball game. Later in that inning, Nelson Lynch pops one up behind first base, and no one can get to it. It drops for a hit. Contreras scores as Osseo gets 5 runs in the inning. Hopkins counters with 4 runs in the bottom of the 14th, but John Klein then gets a strikeout to end the game. He picks up the win in relief. No runs for 13 innings and then 9 in the 14th. Osseo wins it 5-4. Wayzata won the past 3 tournaments in Delano and 4 of the past 5. They also needed extra innings to decide a pool play game with appropriate socks for the 4th of July game. Wayzata faced Eagan. Eagan's Carson Coburn puts a charge into this one, but Wayzata left fielder Ben Leitner stays with it, and he is able to track it down in deep left field. Coburn's luck doesn't get any better in the 4th as his hard hit ball turns into a nice 4-6-3 double play for Wayzata, and the game remains scoreless. In the bottom of the 5th, Wayzata's Josh Gullickson lifts a fly ball to not very deep left. They decide to gamble though, sending Paul Gerard home, and he just beats the tag as Wayzata takes the lead 1-0. Eagan ties it on a sac fly in the 6th, and this one goes extra innings too. And in the 12th, Keegan Nichols' fly ball is in a perfect spot, just fair down the line and left. Charles Engdahl scores the winning run as Wayzata celebrates with a 2-1 victory. And Wayzata edged Osseo 1-0 to advance to the championship, but their title streak ends at 3 straight as Edina wins at 6-5. It's the 2nd Stars and Stripes title for Edina. Golf fans in the Twin Cities were treated to a great finish as the PGA Tour returned to the area. At the 3M Open in Blaine, a homecoming for Troy Merritt, who first appeared on our channel playing basketball and golf for Spring Lake Park High School in the early 2000s. Merritt just misses the birdie try in the 18th, but he has a good showing on his home turf. He ties for 7th, finishing 16 under par. And what a finish. Trailing the leaders by 1 stroke and playing in the second to last group, Bryson DeChambeau sinks the dramatic eagle putt on 18 to leapfrog into first place at 20 under. But Tour rookie Matthew Wolff matches with an eagle of his own from a tougher spot on the fringe to win the inaugural 3M Open tournament as a 20-year-old. And that is all for sports. Back to you, Delane.
A pastor from Plymouth has a unique way of getting to work at his South Minneapolis church. This is a 3-wheeled recumbent bike known as a velomobile. Several times a week, Pastor Christopher Hagan pedals 24 miles from his home in Plymouth to his office at Lake Nokomis Lutheran Church. He utilizes bike trails, bike lanes, and side streets to make his journey, and he's able to do it in a laid-back reclining position.
I get into a zone, so my pedaling cadence and my heart rate and my breathing all getting synchronized, and so I'm just cruising along, boom, to do, and then my mind frees and I can enjoy the weather, say hi to folks, and then I just zoom along.